Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I know so many of you over on TikTok have been blowing up the comments asking for this, so today we're finally doing some customer reviews analysis for it. But before we dive into that, be sure to check out this exclusive discount available for it. You'll find it in the description and in the first comment under this video. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Now, let's hear directly from our first reviewer about their experience.
This reviewer, a first-time electric bike owner, was looking for a model that was both affordable and lightweight enough to fit in a car's trunk. Upon arrival, our reviewer noted the excellent packaging, which protected the bike well during shipping. Assembling the bike was mostly straightforward, though it did require some unexpected fiddling with the front disc brake, a task not covered in the instructions. Once assembled, the bike felt larger than anticipated for its wheel size, and the upgraded color LCD was a pleasant surprise, remaining readable even in bright sunlight. The ride was surprisingly comfortable despite the lack of front suspension, thanks to springs in the seat. The pedal assist provides a significant kick even on its lower settings, making hills much more manageable. Our reviewer found that by using the assist and throttle sparingly, they could still get a good workout without overexerting themselves, suggesting the battery can last for quite a few miles with conservative use. The bike's main feature, its portability, presented its own challenges. The user found folding it to be a bit of a learning curve, an awkward process that can easily scratch the frame. They also wished for a mechanism to lock the bike in its folded state. However, a significant frustration emerged with the bike's electronics. The wheel size is incorrectly configured in the software, which causes the speedometer and odometer to be inaccurate. Unlike older models, this setting is now locked and cannot be changed. When this client contacted support, they received what felt like a face-saving excuse rather than a solution, leaving a major flaw with no apparent fix. This issue was a considerable disappointment in what is otherwise a pretty good bike for casual, on-road use.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer, with decades of experience working in bike shops and a deep understanding of bicycle mechanics, found this electric bike to have an impressive build with good quality components. They felt that significant thought went into the design and construction, offering great value overall. However, our reviewer strongly cautions against a quick 10-minute assembly right out of the box. For anyone planning to ride on public streets, a more thoughtful and diligent setup is essential to ensure safety and proper performance. During their own meticulous assembly process, this client ran into several issues that required immediate attention. The headset bearings, for instance, were alarmingly tight and had to be adjusted for the steering to function smoothly. Other small but notable problems included a fender mounting bolt that was too short and a seat clamp that had been misassembled at the factory, requiring it to be straightened and reinstalled. Our reviewer also discovered that nearly every bolt needed to be checked for tightness and properly lubricated, noting the pedal threads were particularly dry. Some fit and finish details also needed work. The charging port cover wouldn't close properly due to a lumpy weld nearby, and the brake levers were so over-torqued from the factory that a bolt head stripped during adjustment. The most critical fix involved the front brake, where a poorly aligned caliper caused the disc to drag badly. While this was correctable for an expert, they note that an amateur would likely need a bike shop's help. Despite these setup hurdles, which less experienced owners might need professional assistance to resolve, the reviewer's final impression of the bike itself was very positive once everything was properly tuned.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer recently acquired this electric bike and is eager to share their experience. Out of the box, our reviewer, who has owned a bike shop for 21 years, noted this electric bike was exceptionally well packed, as good as any they'd ever seen. Assembly was largely straightforward, though not without a few quirks. The manual, particularly its unclear pictures, could certainly use an update. The front fender was notably misaligned. After several attempts, it couldn't be fully straightened, though thankfully it doesn't rub. This client strongly recommends a crucial step before anything else. Apply a small amount of grease to the C-tube, handlebar tube, and pedals to prevent rust and seizing. Specific adjustments were also needed for the front light and fender mount, which our reviewer found a bit off. The bolt for this mount felt short, so they advised tightening the nut from the back, rather than turning the front Allen wrench. Despite the light itself appearing slightly crooked, Its wide spray pattern provides perfectly adequate visibility. Our reviewer also had to align the handlebars, which weren't perfectly true to the front wheel. The fix involves loosening 2 5-Malin bolts on the front fork, sighting the bars from a seated position, then retightening them snugly. The front disc brake initially dragged, addressed by adjusting the thumb wheel and adjuster on the brake lever until the rubbing ceased. If dragging persisted, a similar adjuster on the caliper needed clockwise turning, and in some cases, a slight loosening of the cable itself at the caliper. The hand clamps for the seat post and handlebar require the opposing thumb screw to be tightened a turn or so to stay secure, though care should be taken not to over-tighten. Similarly, the pedals, which have opposite threads, only need about 20-30 pounds of torque. Taller riders might find it more ergonomic to rotate the handlebar controls downwards, but snug is sufficient. Over-tightening could cause brake.
That's all for now. If you found this useful, hit like and subscribe. Let's talk in the comments. See you in the next video.